everyone, welcome back to my kitchen. If you're new around here, I'm Shelly with Art for My Table, and today we're making Carnitas Casserole Verde. This is one of the most visited recipes on my website. It's super easy to do, and it's kind of a twist on carnitas, but we're making it casserole style, and we're making a cheesy green sauce to go with it. We're gonna need about 2.5 cups of pulled pork. This is great if you have leftover pork. We're gonna use 2 cups of salsa verde, and you can choose mild, medium, or hot, your choice. And we're using about 2 ounces of cream cheese, some jack cheese, 8 ounces of that, and then we'll finish it off with some chopped up cilantro after it's finished cooking. The other part of this is corn tortillas, and the first thing that we're gonna do is warm these up. I'm wrapping these in a damp paper towel, and I'm gonna place them in the microwave for about 30 seconds. This is gonna make the corn tortillas much more pliable and just easy to work with. While those are warming up, we're gonna take a cup of our salsa verde and just pour that in the bottom of your casserole dish. This is a 9x13 dish. And I'm just gonna spread that around, and that's gonna just give us a nice layer on the bottom that will soak into the tortillas, and also it will keep it from sticking. Before we get to building our casserole, we're gonna mix up our sauce. So I'm just using a couple ounces of cream cheese, and then I'm gonna use the remainder of the salsa verde sauce. And then you can use a fork or a whisk just to mix that together. It's a good idea to make sure that your cream cheese is softened. If you take it right out of the fridge, it will be a little bit hard to mix. So just set it out. If you don't want to spend the time whisking or using a fork, you could also use an immersion blender just to blend it up. And it is okay if there's just a few lumps in there because they will melt right into the sauce. Okay, now we're ready to assemble the casserole. Each layer is gonna have about 5 corn tortillas. And I just lay these in so that they fit best they can. They will overlap, and that is totally fine. For the middle one, I usually just kind of tear it in half and position it in there. Now, after I have my initial layer of tortillas, I'm gonna put about 1/3 of the sauce. If you're real picky, you can go ahead and just use a measuring cup, but I tend to just eyeball it. And then I'll just spread this around a little bit. I wanna make sure that the tortilla gets nicely covered so that it has sauce on every part of it. Next, we're gonna take half of the meat and sprinkle this on top. This is leftover from a pork roast that we did. We just did pulled pork, and so it makes a lot, so this is a great leftover pork recipe. Also, there has been several times that I've made this where we've actually used chicken, and it's just as delicious. All right. Spread that out so we have good coverage. We want to make sure we have pork in every bite. And then I'm going to take 1/3 of the cheese and sprinkle this over the top. And that's our first layer. Now we're going to repeat that a second time. So there's our tortillas. Now we'll do another 1/3 of the sauce, or it'll be half of what's left. Now we're gonna place the rest of the meat in this layer. Okay, and then we're gonna take another third of the cheese, so that would be half of what's left. The last layer will be tortillas, and then the sauce, and a nice thick layer of cheese. Now this is going to go in a 350-degree oven for about 20 to 30 minutes. The casserole is just about ready to come out of the oven, so I'm going to slice up some cilantro here just to garnish it with. Once it comes out of the oven, I'm just going to garnish it with the fresh cilantro, and then we'll cut into it and serve it up. One of the reasons I love this casserole is because it's super versatile. As I've mentioned, I've made it with chicken before. You could also use ground beef or ground turkey. You can even make it a meatless dish by using black beans for your protein source. Any way you make it, it's absolutely wonderful, and it will definitely satisfy your cravings. You can serve this alongside refried beans and chips and salsa for a perfect meal. Thank you so much for watching today. You can find more recipes at artformytable.com. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and don't forget to hit the notification bell. I will see you next time.